I'll speak to the Lord Beerus in your timeline, before he vanishes as a result of your Supreme Kai's death, and explain the situation. I will ask him to eliminate your Zamasu, and I'm certain he will oblige.
What if I told you we'd have another saga involving time travel, like Goku Black's? Just imagine, a devastated universe, without gods, without order, and with a single presence dominating everything. Black Frieza, an absolute tyrant. A being who achieved what neither Zeno nor the Daishinkan himself imagined possible, the complete annihilation of all existing gods and angels. But what if I told you that, in this future, a single being survived? An angel who, with his intelligence and serenity, found a way to go back in time and change destiny? Yes, we're talking about future Whis. To understand this theory, we need to begin at the point where the future became distorted. After Moro's disappearance, gases fall, and Frieza's return with his dark power, the legendary Black Frieza, the cosmic balance began to crumble. Frieza's power surpassed not only mortal limits but also began to interfere with divine energies. Whis, being an angel, sensed what was coming. He felt the vibration of destruction spreading through the universes, but even he couldn't imagine the magnitude of what Frieza was becoming. With his training in the time void, Frieza not only honed his body, he mastered something close to the divine essence of angels, a pure, limitless energy. And that was how it all began. First, it was the gods of destruction. Beerus tried to fight. He was the first to fall, in a battle so intense that it prompted the Daishinkan himself to intervene. But even the Grand Priest, faced with Frieza's dark power, began to falter. Frieza didn't kill out of rage, he exterminated out of superiority. Each blow contained what seemed to be a distortion in reality, as if time and space were bending before his dark power. The angels, one by one, were eliminated. Vados, Kuz, Mojito, all fell, and the multiverse became a wasteland of cosmic ruins. And at the center of it all, only Whis remained. Whis survived not through strength, but through wisdom. He knew there was no way to defeat Frieza at that moment, so he hit at the threshold of time, between the past and the future. And it was there, in this temporal void, that he devised a plan to go back in time and prevent this catastrophic future from arising. But there's a curious detail here: angels cannot directly interfere with the flow of time. They are governed by strict cosmic laws, laws created by the Daishinkan himself. So, how did Whis manage to break this rule? The answer lies in something that always seemed insignificant: Bulma's time machine. Remember when Trunks used the machine to change the future? Yeah. In Whis' timeline, Bulma still existed, but before she was destroyed, she had worked on an improved version of the machine, capable of traversing not only time, but also divine energy frequencies. This version was called the Temporal God Capsule, and was originally created to study the time of angels. Whis, in an act of desperation, used this prototype to accomplish something no angel had ever dared: travel to the past with the purpose of altering the fate of the entire universe. Now imagine Goku training peacefully, perhaps on Beerus's planet, when suddenly the sky splits, and a portal of blue light appears. From within it, future Whis appears different, with dark hair, a cracked staff, and a denser aura, marked by suffering and time. He doesn't come to fight. He comes to warn. Whis explains to Goku that the future is doomed, and that Black Frieza is no longer the same villain they knew. He has mastered something beyond Ultra Instinct, something that blends divine essence and evil energy, something called the Absolute State, a stage in which the body and mind transcend the very concept of energy. And the only hope of changing the future is to train Goku to awaken an equivalent power, a pure and balanced form of Ultra Instinct, but one that combines emotion and serenity, something Whis calls Primal Instinct. Future Whis begins training Goku secretly. He knows that the angels of the present cannot know of his presence, or the temporal balance would be disrupted. Therefore, the training takes place in a dimension outside of time, where Goku spends what seems like months, but in the real world, only minutes pass. There, Whis teaches Goku not only to master Ultra Instinct, but to feel time itself flow within Ki. He trains him to perceive the exact instant an attack occurs before it even exists, a form of combat that transcends any mortal limit. This concept would be the pinnacle of the angel's technique, and perhaps the last teaching Whis could still impart. But there's a price. Each time future Whis uses divine energy in the past, it begins to fade, as if time were slowly erasing it. Still, he continues, believing that if Goku masters this new power, the future can be rewritten. The plan is simple, but risky. Goku must face Frieza before he reaches the ultimate form of the Absolute State. Whis then reveals the ultimate truth. Everything you know, Goku, everything that still exists, depends on your understanding that the power of the gods comes not from calm or anger, but from a harmony between the two. The theory suggests that Goku's training with future Whis is the hidden event that precedes the anime's true return. Perhaps the next arcs of Dragon Ball Super will offer clues to this, such as Goku mastering a power that seems to surpass even ordinary Ultra Instinct, and Frieza preparing his cosmic breakthrough. And what's more, if future Whis managed to travel to the past, could Black Frieza do the same? Perhaps the true final confrontation isn't just physical, but temporal, with versions of the past and future colliding at the same point in reality. If this theory is correct, Dragon Ball Super still holds the greatest of all arcs. One where time itself is the battlefield, where the gods were defeated, and where the last angel bet everything on a single warrior, Son Goku, to restore balance. Future Whis would then be the ultimate symbol of divine resistance, and the only one who believed that, even at the end of everything, the heart of a Saiyan could still save the universe. So that's it, folks. If you liked it, don't forget to like it, as it's very important. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Thanks, and until next time, I'm done.